Intention to create legal relationship. Definition: the intention of the parties to the contract to be legally bound with legal consequences to sue or to be sued in case of failure to perform.
The English common law based on two presumptions to determine the existence of intention. First, commercial or business agreement, and second, family or domestic agreement. For commercial or business agreement, when two parties enter into a commercial contract or agreement, English law presumes that the parties have intention to create a legal relation. Thus, there will be a binding contract between the parties. If one party breaches the contract, other parties has right to sue. However, the above presumption may be rebutted by using a clause subject to contract or subject to approval of former contract. The effect of this clause will not bind the parties to perform the contract until a formal contract is executed.
Social or domestic agreement. First, refers to an agreement made between family members, whereas social agreement refers to an agreement between friends, work colleagues, and those sharing households. 2. The English law presumes that there is no intention to create legal relation. 3. Thus, there will be no binding contract between the parties. 4. If one of the parties breaches the contract, another party will not have a right to sue.
This is our group situation. Mr. Najib and Mrs. Rasma are happily married. With their newborn child, they have both agreed to buy a new car. One day, while Mrs. Rasma was strolling at the park, she saw her husband cheating on her. Back home, they started arguing with each other.
Who was that lady? No one. You're lying. That's it. I want a divorce. Okay, fine.
Mr. Najib and Mrs. Rasma have signed an agreement stating that he has to settle weekly payment to gain the ownership since the car was bought under Najib's name. 1 year later, Mrs. Husna has finally finished her payment for the car. However, Mr. Najib disagrees to hand over the car to her. Thus, he has breached the contract and Mrs. Husna has decided to bring this matter to the court. The court held that Mr. Najib is liable for breaching the contract because he had previously signed an agreement to transfer the ownership to Mrs. Husna once she has finished her payment.
#1 issue: whether Mr. Najib has breached the contract. #2 law and application. The law related to the case is intention to create legal relationship. Definition: the intention of the parties to the contract to be legally bound with legal consequences to sue or to be sued in case of failure to perform. The case falls under domestic agreement which is made between family members, and those sharing household English law presume that there is no intention to create legal relation. Thus, no binding contract between the parties, and another party will not have the right to sue. The presumption can be rebutted by giving evidence. To make the agreement enforceable, a written agreement must be made and signed by both parties. In case Merit v. Merit could help that the written agreement signed was binding and was further evidence of an intention to be bound. Referring to the current case, Mr. Najib and Mrs. Rosma had signed an agreement where Mrs. Rosma can get full ownership of the car if she settled the full payment. Hence, there is an intention to create legal relation and there a binding contract between them.
Conclusion: Mr. Najib had breached the contract, thus Mrs. Rosma has the right to sue him.